Oh, yes, absolutely, yes, yes. They can be rather deadly.
We're recording, Mr. Bones.
What? Oh, hello. Gindiana Bones here. We seem to have foregone my traditional musical introduction because this is an update video, as they're called here on the YouTube, the YouTube, the tube, for you to give information to the world. Yes. Oh, that's it, yes. I'm here, sorry, in the wake of a weekend of very busy comings and goings in the Archeo Soup inbox. I've been receiving, well, dozens of emails in the wake of the Burmas in the Spitfires in Burma story, which unfolded at the end of last week. Now, it seems that there were no Spitfires found, but the details coming out of it have been morphing and shifting as the weekend progressed. So, for example, it started off with reports that, well, you know, we found a crate, and in the crate there was water, and in the water there was mud, and because of the mud we couldn't see, you know, potentially a Spitfire or two. And also things like, for example, we found some power cables, and underneath the power cables there were some crates, but the power cables scared the archaeologists away, and that kind of thing. And then bit by bit that sort of morphed into things like, for example, well, we found power cables and a piece of metal from a runway, and that's about it really, nothing to do with Spitfires at all. And then that's even further sort of morphed and essentially devolved into well, sniping, you know, a sniping contest, you know. So Mr. Cundall, David Cundall, was saying the archaeologists were entirely too sceptical. They were digging in the wrong places. However, Mr. Cundall, you have, you know, spent more than a decade putting together, presumably, what the right places are. Wasn't it your responsibility to ensure that the archaeologists dug in those places? Perhaps, maybe. After all, you know, you did bring together the resources, presumably. Can't complain now, can you? No. But also as well that combined with the fact that the archaeologists are saying, well, Mr. Cundall refuses to grasp onto reality, and indeed the people who put forward a reported £1 million onto the project, wargaming.net, seem to be starting the process of disassociating themselves from Mr. Cundall, and then there's a sort of like a broadside from Mr. Cundall's friends, unnamed friends as well, saying, well, wargaming.net were never interested in finding aviation archaeology. All they're in it for is the publicity. I can't imagine such a world, can you? But then again, I'm being unfair. No, I mean, let's face it. Everybody would love to have found a Spitfire or two. Indeed, so would I. I'd love for it to have happened. But it now sounds a little bit as though it's all sort of coming apart at the seams. The project is devolving and sort of melting into a quagmire. But this is a rather dangerous quagmire, you see, because out of it may well come a monster which is myth, and a myth which is also as well driven by a sort of a need to push against authority. That is to say, the archaeologists, they did not want to find the truth, but I have the truth. Follow me, people, this way. And so, with all of that in mind, all of this mess, and indeed I'll put a link, or I'll get someone to put a link in the underbar below to the news, the sniping comments, or one of them at least that I found, for you to read. But anyway, what I want to try and do is try and get through all of this, try and find the truth and the details, and then present them to you fine folk. So, the reason why we're making this little video is just to say that as soon as possible, what I aim to do is actually to get Andy Brockman back on Skype, so that we can have a sort of a debrief. We can talk about what happened, certainly what his archaeological perspective on the project was, whether or not potentially there may be other conclusions to be drawn from the project, and depending on how far he is willing to go with the discussion, what he feels about what occurred in Burma over the past couple of weeks or thereabouts. And hopefully this will help people to gain an understanding, and hopefully a fairly reasoned understanding of what occurred, why it occurred, the reasoning behind it, and the methods and the thought processes which led people to the conclusion that there were no Spitfires to be found in Burma. Blimey, I need a drink. So, I just thought I'd reassure you, basically. Gindiana Bones is on the case, folks, don't worry. And, yes, and until next time, basically, just, hold on to your hats. Don't get too carried away with extravagances. Because well, yeah, there will be a nugget of truth to some of these, I'm sure. And hopefully we can try and find them together and ensure that this doesn't, become this ongoing sort of, grim thing in the background of archaeology over the next couple of years. Yes? Yes. Deal. Right. I'm going to go and top up my gin and maybe fire off an email or two to Mr. Brockman to see if he's up for a bit of Skyping in the near future. What? So, until next time, guys, look after yourselves, take care. Don't fall over in the blizzards. Apparently, according to the news, Britain is an ice cube. Ooh, ice cubes. Yes, very nice. Cheers. Bye-bye.